buttercup, you're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall, won't stop till I get enough.
All right, so everyone's been talking about this Man City, Man U match.
Yeah, crazy game.
And I think people want more than just the headlines, right? We want to, like, really get into it.
Yeah.
And lucky for us, we've got kind of the whole shebang, right? We've got match highlights. We've got the player ratings. We've got even some Roy Keane.
Gotta have Roy Keane.
Oh, yeah, of course. We've got to have Roy Keane's hot takes in there. But, yeah, we're going to break down why this was, like,
more than just a game.
More than just a game, exactly.
I mean, it really kind of shifts the whole narrative, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, on the surface level.
Such a crazy upset.
Thrilling upset, but you look a little deeper and you see Man City's been on this, like, 11-game slump.
Yeah, they're worse since 2006.
It's just, like, less about bad luck at this point and more about, like, something's not working.
Yeah, there are some systemic issues.
Yeah, and then you've got Man U on the other side.
Yeah.
With, like, new management and everything.
New management shaking things up.
This could be, like, a real turning point for them.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so even before kickoff, there were some shockwaves. Rashford and Garnacho.
Two of their biggest names.
Two of their biggest names
Benched.
What was going on? Was it disciplinary? Was it like some crazy new tactic from Amorim?
Well, you know, Roy Keane had some thoughts about that.
Oh, I bet he did.
He, I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically said it wasn't a surprise.
Given their recent performance.
Yeah, like, given how they've been playing lately.
Right.
But I think for him, it was more like Amorim, you know.
Laying down the law.
Yeah, kind of establishing his authority.
Power move right out the gate.
Yeah, for sure.
But then you've got Amad Diallo stepping into that spotlight.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, and delivers a performance that even Bruno Fernandes called unstoppable. 9 out of 10 player, rating the game-winning goal what made him so effective.
It's really fascinating how his positioning just completely, like, messed with Man City.
Yeah.
Like, they just couldn't adjust.
So with Rashford and Garnacho out, he's pushed into a more advanced role.
Exactly, and they weren't ready for it.
Yeah. And that final goal, I mean, talk about skill.
Oh, yeah.
Receiving that pass from Martinez, maneuvering past Ederson, and then just slotting it in from that tight angle.
Pure class.
So it sounds like Amorim knew exactly what he was doing with that lineup change.
Yeah.
Was that the plan all along, or was it like a brilliant improvisation?
It's hard to say for sure, but, you know, if we think back to benching Rashford and Garnacho,
Yeah.
it paints kind of an interesting picture.
Yeah.
Like, maybe Amorim saw a weakness in City's defense that Diallo could exploit.
Oh, so he put him in that advanced role almost, like
To force them to adapt.
to force them to adapt, and clearly they weren't ready for it.
No, they weren't.
So it wasn't just Diallo having a good day, it was like a tactical masterclass from Amorim.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that's the case, it really raises some big questions about Man City.
And their ability to adapt.
Exactly. Like, can they handle these curveballs?
Because Guardiola himself admitted, I have to find solutions. So far, I didn't find it.
Yeah. I mean,
His post-match comments were pretty bleak.
yeah, he even compared this loss to some of their Champions League defeats,
Oh.
saying those were easier to accept.
What does that tell us about where Man City's at right now?
I think it shows a vulnerability in their mentality. Like, they've been so dominant for so long.
They've gotten complacent.
Yeah, maybe a bit. And, like, teams aren't intimidated by them anymore. And they're not handling setbacks well.
And you see that with that late penalty that led to Man U's equalizer.
Right.
Bernardo Silva did not hold back in his post-match interview, calling their performance stupid, playing like under 15s.
That's rough.
I mean, that frustration speaks volumes.
Yeah, you can see it's not just Silva. It's like on the pitch, the fluidity, the precision that define their game, it's gone.
They're making uncharacteristic errors.
Yeah, and teams like Man U are capitalizing on that.
And the stats back it up, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Man City winning only 1 out of their last 11.
And the last time they were this bad was almost 2 decades ago.
So we're not talking about a blip here.
No, this is a full-blown crisis of confidence.
So how does this loss to Man U fit into that larger narrative? Is this a sign that Man City's reign at the top is coming to an end?
It's hard to say for sure, but I think it could be a turning point.
So we've got Man City potentially on the decline and Man U under Amorim making these bold moves, and they're paying off.
Exciting to watch.
Where do we go from here?
Well, there's another layer to this match that we haven't even touched on yet, that headbutt incident between Hodgson and Walker.
Oh, yeah. Things got pretty heated.
Just cat added. That definitely added fuel to the fire. Roy Keane was not a fan of Walker's reaction at all.
Yeah, I bet.
Called it embarrassing.
Oh.
He even suggested he went down a bit too easy.
Oh, yeah, a little embellishment, maybe.
Maybe. And then you have Hodgland
Oh, yeah.
with that cheeky Instagram post after the match.
I saw that.
Manchester is red, violets are blue. What a brilliant performance, but the Oscar goes to.
Oh, he did.
Oh, he did.
Gotta love it.
Definitely a dig at Walker's theatrics.
Adding insult to injury.
Right.
It's interesting how one incident can just spark like a whole range of reactions. You've got Keane taking that hardline stance.
Right.
Hodgland using humor.
To make his point.
And then you have to wonder what's going through Walker's head after all that.
I mean, it is a reminder these are people out there.
Yeah.
Not just names on a score sheet.
Real human beings.
They got egos. They're competitive.
Yeah.
And sometimes those emotions just boil over.
Yeah. But zooming out a bit, this match wasn't just about like individual players or those controversial moments.
Oh, yeah.
Just like a statement about where these two clubs are heading.
Absolutely.
Man U potentially on the rise and Man City struggling to like maintain that grip at the top.
Yeah.
But how do we go beyond just that simple narrative? Like, what are the deeper implications?
Well, one thing that struck me was the reaction from the players.
Oh, interesting.
Like Bruno Fernandes was just gushing about Amad Diallo.
Yeah, he called him unstoppable, I think.
Yeah, he said he's unstoppable when he's like this, and he has the potential to perform at this level every week.
Wow. That is some high praise coming from the captain.
Yeah, and it's not like Fernandes just throws compliments around.
No, he doesn't.
So it suggests that Diallo's like really earned the respect
Of his teammates.
Yeah, and maybe even surprise them with like what he can do.
So what does this mean then for the other players who were benched, like Rashford and Garnacho?
Right.
Are they going to rise to the challenge and fight for their places back?
It's a good question.
Or is this going to be a turning point for them and maybe not in a good way?
Yeah, it's a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah.
It's like Amarim has created this environment where complacency just isn't an option.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to earn their spot, even the big names.
So it's a high-risk strategy, but it seems to be working.
It does.
I mean, Man U played with a level of intensity and focus.
It's like we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, in a long time.
And it's not just about the big names either.
That's true.
We tend to focus on the star players.
The ones who score the goals.
Right. But this match highlighted the importance of those like unsung heroes.
Oh, yeah, the players who don't always make the headlines, but who are crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Lisandro Martinez.
Oh, yeah, he had a great game.
He provided the assist for Diallo's winner, but beyond that, he was just a rock in defense.
Making interceptions clearances the whole match.
Yeah, he might not have scored, but his performance was critical to that victory.
It's a good reminder that football really is a team sport.
Yeah.
Every player has a role to play.
For sure. And it makes you wonder, could one of those lesser-known players be the key to their team's future success?
That's a really interesting thought.
Right. It's one of those exciting things about football.
You never know.
A player you've never even heard of could become a star.
And sometimes it's those unexpected heroes
Yeah.
that really make all the difference.
Exactly. And that brings us back to that bigger picture. This wasn't just about Man U beating Man City.
Yeah.
It was about that potential shift in the balance of power
The rise of new talent.
and those crucial roles of the unsung heroes.
So what does this all mean for the future of the Premier League?
Well, it's way too early to say for sure, but I think one thing is certain.
What is that?
Things are getting very interesting.
Oh, I like that.
This match has injected some unpredictability back into the league.
And that's what makes it fun to watch.
Right.
It's no longer a guarantee that Man City's going to dominate.
Exactly. Other teams like Man U are starting to believe that they can challenge for the top spot.
And with young players like Amad Diallo emerging.
It's only going to get more competitive.
And speaking of new talent, let's not forget about the impact of the substitutions in this match.
Oh, that's a good point.
Both teams made changes throughout the game, and those substitutions definitely shifted the momentum.
Absolutely. We often focus on the starting 11, but those players who come off the bench can have a huge impact.
Fresh energy, different tactics.
Sometimes that little spark of inspiration.
That can change the whole game.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, could one of those substitutes be the key to their team's future success?
It's possible.
Could they be the next breakout star that no one saw coming?
That's the beauty of football. It's full of surprises.
You never know.
And the players who are overlooked today could become the heroes of tomorrow.
So as we analyze this match, we have to consider all those factors, the star players, the unsung heroes, the manager's decisions.
And those unexpected contributions.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack.
It's a complex game, but that's what makes it so fascinating.
But beyond like the tactics and those individual performances, there's something else that this match revealed.
What's that?
the human side of it.
Oh.
Like, we saw those emotions, the frustrations, those moments of brilliance, but also the lapses in judgment.
And that headbutt incident was a prime example.
Yeah, some people thought Walker overreacted. Others were like, no, he's allowed to show his passion.
Right. It's a reminder these are real people with real emotions, and sometimes those emotions spill over.
But it also raises some questions about, like, the theatrics in football.
Yeah.
Like, how much is too much? When does a player cross the line from showing passion to trying to manipulate the ref?
It's a delicate balance.
And there's no easy answer.
No, but it's a conversation worth having.
Absolutely, especially after something like that happens.
And it's not just about the players either. It's the fans, the commentators.
Right.
Everyone's got their own perspective.
Non-biases.
And that's what makes football such a rich and multifaceted sport.
Yeah. Okay, but let's shift our focus back to the implications of this match for the future of the Premier League.
Okay.
We talked about that potential power shift,
Right.
the rise of new talent, the importance of those unsung heroes. But what about the tactical side of things?
Oh, that's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
This wasn't just about individual brilliance.
It was about, like, tactical innovation.
Right. Amram's decision to bench Rashford and Garnacho was a bold move.
It was.
It paid off, but it also revealed something about Man City's weaknesses.
Like, they couldn't adapt.
Right. They couldn't handle the unexpected change.
So does that mean Guardiola is becoming predictable?
It's a question worth asking.
Yeah.
Are his teams losing their ability to adjust on the fly?
I guess that's something to watch as the season continues.
Yeah, if they want to reclaim that dominance, they need to find a way to get that tactical edge back.
And on the other side, Amarim has shown he's not afraid to experiment.
Right, he's willing to shake things up, even if it means benching star players.
That boldness is exciting to see.
It is.
Creates that feeling like anything is possible.
Exactly, and that's what makes the Premier League so compelling.
So as we move forward, we're not just watching the matches.
Right.
We're going to be analyzing the tactics, the mind games.
It's the little shifts in momentum that can change the whole game.
It's like a deep dive into the heart of the game.
And that's what makes it so rewarding.
So we've got those highlights, the player ratings, the expert opinions. But the real question is, what did you see?
What stood out to you as you were watching?
Did you notice those tactical adjustments?
The impact of those key moments.
The contributions from those players who might not have made the headlines.
Because those are the details that help you understand not just what happened,
but why it happened.
Exactly. And as you watch the rest of the Premier League, keep those details in mind.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
Yeah.
It's like we're all detectives trying to put the pieces together.
Exactly. We get so caught up in the goals and the drama.
Oh, the big moments.
But it's those subtle things.
A perfectly timed pass.
Yeah, or a crucial interception.
Even just a player's body language.
That tells the real story.
That's what I love about these deep dives.
Oh.
It's not just rehashing the obvious.
We're digging deeper.
Looking for those hidden gems.
And they're everywhere. You know?
Like where?
Well, take the substitutions, for example. We talked about how they impact the game.
Right.
But think about it from the individual player's perspective.
Coming in late in the game.
High-pressure situation.
Yeah.
Their performance can tell you so much.
How about their character?
Their readiness, their potential.
So we're not just watching to see who messed up or who scored.
Right.
We're looking for those glimpses of brilliance.
Yeah, those flashes of resilience.
That hint at future greatness.
Exactly. It's about looking beyond the obvious.
Seeing potential where others might not.
And that's what makes the Premier League so exciting.
It's a breeding ground for talent.
A stage where anyone can become a legend.
It reminds me of...
the examples.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like when...
Yeah.
Remember when... Insert a relevant example of a player who rose from obscurity to stardom, came out of nowhere?
Nobody saw it coming.
But if you were paying attention...
If you're looking for those signs...
You knew something special was happening.
That's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, constant surprise.
New stories, new heroes.
The possibility of the underdogs coming out on top.
So as you go back and rewatch this match and other matches this season, remember what we talked about today.
And don't just focus on the highlights.
Look for the little things, the tactical choices, those psychological battles, the players who don't always get the credit.
Those are the things that make football more than just a game.
It's a human drama, a story that unfolds with every match.
And a constant source of debate.
This deep dive was about more than just understanding one match. It was about giving you the tools to see the game differently.
To appreciate its complexity and depth.
And hopefully it's made you curious.
To dig a little deeper.
To go beyond the surface and explore everything that football has to offer.
Because that's what makes it so amazing.
It's a sport that challenges us to think, to analyze, to engage, and to never stop learning.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
And we'll see you next time.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.